Hi, I'm Val. Welcome to a video where we're going to practice some yoga to encourage us to open the chest and work through those shoulders, as well as taking our spine in all directions. We'll begin down on the mat. We'll just briefly become here and now. So allow yourself to settle your spine. Thinking about your lower back, bringing your hips into balance and releasing through the hips. Taking the legs away from you if it's comfortable to do so. Lengthening through the spine a little, maybe tucking the chin in. And then allowing the head to find that centre position where the neck is long, the throat is open, and the chin feels level. Releasing your shoulders. Try and drop those shoulders down into the mat. Chest is open as the shoulders drop. They're down away from your ears. And you can feel the weight of the body starting to drop through the shoulder blades into the mat. Take the arms comfortably from the body. Encourage those palms to be up to the ceiling. If you bring your attention to your shoulders, turn the palms down. You'll see how that feels. And then if you turn the palms up, you'll get a sense of how that opens the shoulder. If you're happy to, eyes are closed, breathing in and out through the nose. Use your attention on your breath to bring your focus into your body. Releasing your mind from all other things. This is our time for our practice of yoga. We want to bring our focus nice and deeply into the body. Concern ourselves with how our body is feeling, what movements feel right for us, and what small adjustments we can make to allow ourselves to stretch and feel the benefits, the effects of the posture. So taking a moment to soften and release. Listening to your body. If it gives you any indication that something needs moving, maybe it needs a wriggle or a stretch, maybe it needs a complete reposition. Do take your time to tune in, to allow yourself the transition from everything else that's going on in your life into this quieter yoga practice time. Aware of your breath. Deepening the breath a little if you're happy to. Really encouraging the diaphragm to work. Intercostal muscles. Breathing out nice and steady, long out breaths. Recognize that gentle wave of movement through the body. If your attention's elsewhere, maybe it's in your elbow, your back, that's fine. Make the adjustments you need to there. And whenever it's right for you, bring your focus back to the breath. Looking to find a calm, steady breath. There may be days when all you need to do, all you have time to do, all that you'll desire to do, is to come to this position, our Shavasana posture, and focus on the breath. To find a little bit of stillness, a little bit of silence. And we're ready to move on. We wriggle into the fingers and toes. Maybe a little movement through the hands and the feet. Whatever feels right for you today. And we're going to take a long straightening stretch through, if you can, both heels, both arms. As you lengthen the fingertips away overhead, stretch into those heels, creating some space between the rib cage and the hips. Breathing, lengthening, and relaxing and releasing, bringing your arms back to your sides. Taking a moment to have a little hug in, knees up onto the tummy, hugging over or under those shins. You might be curling the head up, you might be keeping the head and shoulders down, have a little rock. Whatever works for you, for your back, for your spine, for where you are now. Release those feet back down to the mat. We're going to work into the shoulders. Working with the breath, let's have the palms down to the mat. And with the next in-breath, taking both arms up and over as you breathe in. Take the whole of the length of that in-breath, take the arms back overhead. Out-breath, the arms come back. Breathing in, taking both arms up and over. Breathing out to bring both arms back. Third one, breathing in, arms go up and over. Out breath, your arms come back. We're going to take those arms up and over and we're going to leave them there if we can. So take an in-breath and take your arms up and over. We want to widen through the shoulders a little. Feel that you're getting a stretch through the chest. You might be bending into the elbows and taking your hands wider. Encourage the whole of the backs of your arms to flatten down onto your mat. Try and bring the shoulder blades down, the upper arms down, the elbows, forearms, wrists, hands, fingers and thumbs. Breathing naturally, feeling the whole of the arms flattening, the chest opening. Might be you can stretch a little further overhead and still get the whole of the arm down. It might be that you struggle with your shoulders and you're just hovering the arms there, trying to encourage them to go down, but you're still feeling a stretch through the chest. Flexibility is different for everyone. When you're ready, nice big in-breath to bring those arms to your sides. And give your shoulders a wriggle. Allow them to settle. Going to have a little work into those legs because we're going to be activating our thigh muscles when we come to our next posture. Bring your right knee up onto your tummy. Hug either over or under the shin. Focus on drawing the thigh in towards you. On breathing naturally. Releasing and returning that foot to the mat. And we'll bring the left knee up. Hugging either over or under the shin. Try not to push into your right leg. You're drawing the left thigh in. Breathing. Sense of settling the hips. Opening the lower back. Drawing in through the knee. Releasing, foot comes down to the floor. Bringing up your right leg and this time hugging just on the thigh. Encourage the foot flat towards the ceiling and draw that thigh in towards you. We're going to release the hands. We're going to stretch up through that right leg. Really feel you're engaging the leg muscles. Keep the hips and the lower back relaxed. Feel it's these leg muscles that's stretching. It's as if you're trying to lift the ceiling up. The foot is flat, lengthening away, All these muscles in the top of the leg should feel strong. There might be a stretch in the back of your knee and your calf. Again, we're all different. And we'll bend. Bring the foot to the mat. Left leg's going to come up. We're going to hug on that thigh. Try and keep the flat of the foot up to the ceiling on that left foot, not pushing into the right foot. Draw the thigh in towards you. Foot's flat. Breathing. And then we're going to release the hands, stretch the foot up towards the ceiling. Don't worry if the left and right side are different, but do try and relax your lower back and your hips. Try and push through that heel. Feel the strength in these upper leg muscles. Maybe a bit of opening through the back of the knee. Maybe some work into the calf. Maybe a stretch in the Achilles. Bend the knee down. And return the foot to the mat. Let's bend that right foot up and take the heel to the ceiling. Use your breath. Breathing in, lengthening through the heel. As you breathe out, relax your weight down into your mat. In breath to stretch through that heel. Out breath to release the weight into the mat. Third one. Stretching in breath. And relaxing the weight down, bringing the leg down, foot to the mat. So bring your left knee up onto the tummy as you're ready. Stretch up through that heel, left foot lengthening to the ceiling. Breathe in as you stretch that heel away. And as you breathe out, soften, dropping your weight into the mat. In breath to lengthen and stretch through that heel. Out breath to relax and release. Last stretch, breathing in. And this time as you breathe out, bring the knee down and the foot to the mat. Good. We're going to work into our back bend. We're going to work into bridge posture. Think about where you want your feet. Ideally, our feet are in alignment with our hips. So think center line of hip, center line of knee, center line of ankle. We want those feet to be nice and flat to the floor. You can shuffle your heels in as close to your bottom as you're happy to. We're going to be lifting the hips to the ceiling. We're going to start with the hands by the sides. A little bit of a pelvic tilt, so you're pushing the small of the back into the mat, tilting through the pelvis. Then lifting the hips up towards the ceiling, peeling your spine up off the mat, breathing. Try and hold those hips up, feel nice and strong through the thigh muscles. Good. Those knees want to be straight up to the ceiling. Try not to allow them to drop apart, using those strong thigh muscles to hold you in your bridge. No pressure in the neck, shoulders down into the mat. And then gently roll down through your spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, until finally the tailbone untucks. So there shouldn't be any pressure through your neck in bridge posture. It should be the shoulders pushing down to the mat. Ideally, the heart wants to lift higher than the head, so in effect it's an inversion. This time when we lift up, we're going to really encourage those shoulders down into the mat. So think about the position of your legs. Do you need to adjust at all? If you've got a hip or knee injury, an ankle injury, bring those feet in together and use one leg to support the other. When you're ready, tilting through the pelvis, lifting the hips up to the ceiling. Feel the weight moving into your shoulder blades. Push your shoulders down into your mat and lift your heart. Breathe in your posture. So we're making our breath work in a different way as we're upside down in effect. Little pressure on the thyroid, generally a good thing. And when you're ready, steadily releasing down, vertebrae by vertebrae by vertebrae, until finally your hips touch down and your tailbone uncurls. For those of you who are flexible enough through the shoulders, we're going to take the arms up overhead. If your hands don't come to the mat, your shoulders don't feel flat down into the mat, then please don't feel that you need to go this way. There wants to be no pressure on the neck, remember. But if you can take those arms overhead, you might be able to lengthen through the fingertips so that you're engaging the sides of the body more. We'll think about working with the breath this time. Breathing in, tilt through the pelvis. And as you breathe out, lift those hips. Out breath, tumbling out with the breath, with the movement. Shoulder blades pushing into the mat. Chest feeling really open. Legs strong. Tummy muscles working to hold those hips. You can stay here for as long as it works for you. If you like strong postures, you'll enjoy this one. Rolling down as you breathe in. Vertebrae by vertebrae. Might bring the arms back at the same time. And then to counter pose, we're going to bring the knees onto the tummy. Have a hug of those knees. Drawing the head in towards the knees, little hug. Releasing out as you're happy to do so. And we're going to bring ourselves up to sitting, so whatever way works for you, to bring yourself up to a sitting position. Lengthen those legs in front of you. Sit up on your sitting bone. Take the arms in front, palms together. Breathe in, taking those arms wide. Breathe out, bringing the palms together. In breath, arms go wide. Out breath, palms come together in front. Breathing in, stretching your arms wide at shoulder level. Out breath, palms come together overhead. In breath, arms go wide. Out breath, palms together in front of you at shoulder level. Last one, working with your own breath. Breathing in, arms go wide. Out, palms to come together. In, arms go wide. Out, palms come together in front. And relax your shoulders down. We're going to work into our Paschimottanasana, forward bend over both legs. We'll start by bending those knees a little. This will suit those of you who are not so comfortable going forwards. We're going to have a hug into the legs. If you need more space, take your heels a little way apart so you can create some space. So hug your body down into your thighs. Think about settling the front of the body onto the legs, allowing the head, neck and shoulders to release forwards. Feel a stretch in that lower back if you can. When we're ready, we can release and uncurl. We're going to repeat that and walk the feet away. Hug down under your legs. If you feel that you can stretch out further, start walking those heels away from you. Try and find a position where you're staying in touch with the legs. You're just starting to part company. And feel that stretch in your lower back. Breathing. We'll release those arms. Steadily uncurl. Stretching your heels away now. Hands on the tops of the legs. We're going to hinge forwards. Breathe in nice and tall. As you breathe out, hinge forwards at your hips and release down into your legs. If you want to stretch for the heels, you can, but otherwise the hands can be on the sides of the leg. We're encouraging the front of the body to release down onto the thighs. To really feel that stretch through the lower back, the back of the waist in towards the rib cage. When we're ready to come up, it's our in-breath to come up. We can have a reach up to the ceiling, looking at the backs of the hands. And releasing it. We are going to come up to standing. So will you find your own way to come up to a standing position? We are going to work into those shoulders again, keeping the shoulders nice and wide, chest open, but in our side bend. Taking your feet a little wider than your hips. If you like to work strongly and want to bring your feet in together, feel free to do so. Arm position is going to depend on you. Fingers can be interlaced on the top of the head, encouraging those elbows back. Or the hands might go onto the back of the head, just excuse my ponytail. So that really encourages the shoulders to be back. But try and stay upright. Try not to be arching the back if you're naturally a very flexible person. If that doesn't work, you might be trying to put those fingertips onto the top of the shoulders. Okay, so the idea here is we've got those shoulders open, the chest is open. Find the position that's going to work for you and your hands. Encourage your elbows to be apart. Breathe in nice and towards centre. Out breath, go over to one side. Stay in this side bend, breathing, whilst you find that sense of stretching into the side of the waist. So that upper side of the waist should be feeling a stretch from the hip up towards the rib cage, maybe even under the shoulder. Elbows stay wide, chest is open. When you're ready to come up, it's an in-breath to come up. And as we breathe out, we go to the other side. We try and keep those elbows wide, chest open. Feel the stretch in the exposed side of the waist. From the hip all the way up through into the rib cage, maybe the underarm. In-breath to come up. Have you still got your elbows wide, chest open? In nice and tall, out breath to go over. Breathing naturally. Feeling that stretch in your side. In breath when you're ready to come up. Out breath to go to the other side. Working into that waistline. Stretching the side of the body. Using your breath to come up as you breathe in. Last one, so that you do 3 each side. Make sure you're not pushing your head down into the body and shortening the neck. We breathe in when we're ready to come up. We breathe out to go to the other side. Keeping those elbows back, chest open. In-breath coming up. If you've done your 3 each side, bring those feet in together and lengthen to the ceiling. Bring yourself back into alignment, tucking the tailbone under if you wish. We can release those arms down. We're going to take a stretch into our warrior posture next. Will you stand side on your mat, taking your feet a good pace apart? I'm going to turn my right foot out. I'm going to keep my hips facing the direction they were in. I'm going to bend into that right knee. Try not to move the whole of the weight into the right leg. Weight should be balanced between the legs. Shoulders have stayed over hips and reaching out through those fingertips. Keeping the chest forwards, just looking along that right arm. Breathing, making sure there's space between the hips and the rib cage, lengthening through those arms. Warrior posture. Strong, every muscle working. Turning the head to center, releasing the arms down. Straighten the knee, turn the foot in, and turn the other foot out. If you struggle with your hips, feel free to step forwards instead of having the wide leg position. Bending into that left knee, keeping weight in the right leg. Bodies forwards, reaching through those arms and turning the head to look along the left arm, looking in the same direction as you've bent that knee. Keeping the chest open as you reach through your fingertips. Lengthening. When you're ready, head turns forwards, arms relax, knees straightens, foot turns in. Going to do that again each side, so you might be turning your right foot out. For those of you that are working straight forwards, it's facing along the mat, step forwards, bend into the knee, arms out wide. Okay, so you know which position you're working from. Whoops, turn the right foot, bend into the right knee, keep weight between both legs, bodies facing forward, stretch through those arms, look in the direction of the bent knee. Balancing the weight between your feet, height through your spine, lengthening through your arms. When you're ready to come out this time, try turning the head forward, straightening the leg, bringing the foot forwards, keeping those arms wide to turn the left foot out and bend into the left knee, looking along the left arm. Hips are forwards, chest is forwards, we're reaching through those fingertips. The whole of the body working. When you're ready to come out, head turns, knee straightens, foot turns in. We can lower those arms. If you want to, of course, you can pause the video and do a third one in your own time. If 2 was enough for you, bringing those feet in together, you might hop them in. Go a little curling ragdoll. So feet are under your hips, knees are soft, hands on the front of the legs, chin tucked in, slowly rolling down towards the mat. Releasing the whole of the spine. If you comfortably come down to the mat with the hands, hand goes to opposite elbow. We encourage the head, neck and shoulders to all release forwards. Any tension in your lower legs or your hamstrings, bend the knees more. Think about releasing the spine. Should be a relaxing posture. When we're ready to release and come out, we release the elbows. Bend the knees strongly, hands onto thighs. Push ourselves up. Take a moment for our breathing to return to its natural rate. We're going to do a balance next. So do allow yourself to stabilise at centre. Going to look at bringing the heel in towards the bottom and stretching the opposite arm to the ceiling. So this is a position we're going to come into. If you know you need to lean against something, take yourself to a wall, to a door frame, whatever it is you need. Sometimes just a fingertip in touch with a solid object can help bring your balance. Weight centre, dropping your weight through whichever leg's going to be balancing. So mine's my left, I'm balancing into my left leg first. Bending the right heel in towards the bottom, seeing if we can maybe capture that ankle, foot or toes, and seeing if we can draw the heel and foot in towards the bottom Bringing those knees together can help to bring your weight to centre. And if we've got the right hand on the right foot, the left arm stretches up. Find a point you can gaze at that will stay still. Think about being grounded through that balancing leg, keeping yourself as upright as you can. Breathing. Looking for that moment of stillness. Stillness of mind, body and breath. That supporting leg, the ankle might be wobbling around as your body works to balance the whole of the body weight through the one foot. See if you can gauge it to work gently out of your balanced posture whilst you're still under control. Take a moment when you come out of your balance to allow your body to return to natural, to feel equal through both sides. Think about preparing the other leg. So in my case, it's my right foot. I'm dropping the weight down, taking the whole of the weight into the right foot. Left leg's light, bending the right foot up behind me, seeing if I can capture hold of that ankle, foot or toe. Bringing the knees in towards each other as I draw the heel in towards the bottom. And then taking the free arm up towards the ceiling. Finding a point you can look at. You can look at a straight edge like a door frame or a tool cabinet or cupboard. It can sometimes help. Breathing away, dropping the weight into that balancing leg. Lengthening through the open side of the body. Working to keep the weight at centre. Looking for that moment of stillness. Releasing when you're ready. Whenever you've done a posture, think about what you need next. So I feel that after that, a little hanging ragdoll is going to suit me and my back. But if you'd rather have a stretch to be sitting where you need a little twist or a side bend, a little shake and shimmy, whatever's right for you. So I'm going to ragdoll, feet wider than hips, sliding down the front of the body, releasing the head and neck, hand to opposite elbow. Appreciating the space that creates through the spine as I allow the weight of the head to hang. And steadily uncurling, bending deeply into the knees. Hands onto the thighs to push up. So we've got one more to do, our twist. Bring your feet to be underneath your hips. Interlacing those fingers again and placing the hands behind the head if you can to encourage those elbows to be open. Chest open. Remember, if that doesn't work, the hands could be on the tops of the shoulders. You might even go for hands on the hips here. So work with what's right for you. It's always a stronger movement when the hands are higher than the heart. So keeping the elbows wide in whatever position you're in, the chest open, drop the weight into those feet, softening those knees a little, and twisting to one side. Try and twist all the way through the body, through ankles, knees, hips, waist, chest, maybe the shoulders, neck and chin. Gets a little more difficult when you've got those elbows wide. Make sure you're breathing naturally. And steadily bring yourself forwards as and when you're ready. Drop the weight into the feet and we'll twist to the other side. Remember, you might not twist the same both sides, but think about dropping the weight into the feet, twisting through ankles, knees, hips, waist, rib cage, maybe the shoulders, Try and keep those elbows nice and wide so the chest is open. Bringing yourself steadily forwards when you're ready. And I'm going to take a straightening stretch out, lengthening up, tucking the tailbone under a little, releasing. We're ready for our relaxation. Bring yourself down onto the mat, have a sip of water if you need to. Make any little adjustments. If you suddenly need to put your socks on or a top to say warming your relaxation, please do so. You'll relax better if you're feeling comfortable and cosy. Releasing the spine down onto the mat. Settling the lower back, releasing through the hips. Allowing those shoulders to settle. They've worked quite hard, so don't be forcing them down into the mat. Just encourage them to let go with an out-breath. Lengthen the spine, maybe tilting through the chin and then releasing the head to centered. Arms comfortably away from the body. Maybe turning the palms up. If you want to, lengthen those legs away, but you don't have to. And if they move away and then the lower back becomes uncomfortable, you can always bend those knees once more. Closing your eyes and tuning into your breath. You may be able to tune beyond your breath to the beat of your heart. Bringing our focus into the body. We're encouraging ourselves to relax and release. The head feels centered. Facial muscles relaxed. Release through your jaw. Dropping the weight of the head into the mat. Feel the weight dropping down through the shoulders. Chest is open, releasing your shoulders into your mat. Letting go through your arms. Where the contact through the backs of the arms with the mat. Releasing through hands, fingers and thumbs. Letting the weight of the arms go. Where the back of the body dropping into the mat. Contact through hips and shoulders. Maybe feeling some spaces in between touch and down. Spine in a nice straight line. Allow your spine to release. Bringing your focus to your hips, releasing through your legs. Aware of all the contact points between your hips and your heels. As you let go and allow the weight of your legs to drift into your mat. Aware of your breath or even the beat of your heart. As we take a moment to appreciate the silence, appreciate our body at rest. When you're ready, bring your focus back into your body. Maybe deepening the breath a little. Might have a little wriggle through fingers and toes. Whatever movements suit you, be there stretch, maybe a hug and a rock. Whatever it is that feels right for you. Moving that allows you to loosen, to appreciate the flow as the circulation increases. Whenever you're ready, you can roll onto one side and push up to sitting. There's no rush for you to do so. If you wish to stay and ease out for a little longer. And whenever you're ready, you can bring yourself up to sitting to finish with 3 nice deep breaths. Arms to the sides. In-breath stretching up. Palms lightly touching as you breathe out, the arms drift down. Stretching up with the in-breath. Releasing as you breathe out. Three of these if you're happy to do so. Releasing with the out-breath. I hope you've enjoyed this yoga video. Thank you very much. Namaste.